Hey guys, welcome to Farm Charm Chic. I'm Emily. Today I have some beautiful black and red buffalo plaid themed Christmas DIYs for you. This is part of a Colors of Christmas collaboration. I will explain more about that in just a moment, but each of these DIYs today would be very easily customized to fit your own decor, and if you have not yet subscribed, I would love if you would consider doing so. And if you do like the DIYs that you see, I would love if you would give this video a thumbs up. But let's get started. I came across a pack of about 7 or 8 of these little sign ornament things at a yard sale, and so I picked them up because I thought they would make some awesome Christmas DIYs. And then I'm taking a snowflake from the pack of snowflakes from Dollar Tree, and I'm just using some spackle in there to cover up the little ornament hole on that because we're going to place it on the top of this little ornament when we're done with it. You definitely can use whatever paper works best for your house, your decor, and your project. Everything in today's video is incorporating the color black into our Christmas decorating, which when I first heard black, I was like, ugh, how am I gonna do that? And then I realized that I probably decorate more with the black than a lot of other colors for Christmas because I do the black and white and the red and black buffalo check in a lot of my decor, and it's absolutely beautiful and it's so in style right now. So we're just going with the red and black with this video's theme. So I am taking this ornament or taking this circle that I'm going to cut out, and we're going to put it onto this little round. Now, why I decided to paint the edges black right now, I don't know. I end up doing this 3 different times. So take my advice and don't paint the edges until you're all done with everything. Just using this Elmer's school glue, just the purple glue stick, I'm going to cover the front of this little ornament all the way, and then I'll just line up that paper and the plaid how I want it on there, and then I'll just lay that down, and then we're just going to roll over it with my Mod Podge roller. Now I'm going to take my file. Well, first I kind of clean up the edge with my scissors. If it's hanging enough over the edge, you can use your scissors, but then just use your file, and in a downward motion, you're just going to go around all of the edges and make it crisp and clear. And then again, I decide right here to go with my paint, and I paint the edge black again, thinking, oh, I kind of filed some of that off and the paper shows. But what I end up doing is I think that I want to make it two-sided. So I have a snowflake on one side, and then so I end up cutting out another piece of paper, and I take this little Christmas tree. I can't remember where I got this one, but I have seen little trees in packs at Dollar Tree that you could easily use. I want to say Michael's or Hobby Lobby. There's like 3 of them, so I think I got a pack of 3 or 4. And I'm just going to paint it black, and now I'm just going to put the paper on this side of our ornament, and then I will have the snowflake for one side, and I will have the tree for the other side. So that way it will be dual-sided. So if you see it from one direction hanging on a tree or hanging from something, it's going to be finished. Now is the time where you want to paint your edges black because you're all done with filing your paper and everything. I thought it would be really cute to have the snowflake have a stained brown rustic look. I easily could have done this with the tree, however it had a finish on it that I didn't think would stain very well, so that's why I chose black for that side. So you can definitely coordinate these to whatever matches your decor the best. And then just using some good old hot glue, I felt like that would be enough hold for this, and I just go ahead and place the snowflake on this side, and then once I get that all centered and placed how I want, then I flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing with our Christmas tree and just kind of match that in there, paying attention to where the hole is so I can put that twine back on it. And then I will just take some twine and feed it through that hole and then pull it through. You can see how I'm doing that there, and then I'll tie a knot in the top. I just love the vibe that this is giving off. It's almost kind of like a lodgy feel to me. I don't know. I love it. I think it turned out great. And I love that I ended up doing it double-sided. So if it is hanging on my tree, you get a surprise from both sides. I love these little sleighs from Dollar Tree. I think even if you left it as is, it's absolutely darling. But we're going to kind of take it and match our decor today. So it is kind of coming apart in a few places. And so I do take just some hot glue to make sure that it's sturdy and it's all put together, as well as remove that twine from the top. I will be putting some twine back on it, but we're going to take that off to work with it. Now I sand all of the glitter off that I can because it's covered in glitter, and glitter is fine if you're wanting to use it for your decor, but when you're painting over it, you want to get as much removed as you can. And I'm just going to use some white paint just to cover this to give it the base. I want it primarily to be white. Now on this little top part of the sleigh, this crossbar here, it it started to peel off. So I just peeled that off and then sanded it down so that it was kind of like a cardboardy type stuff there. And then I just go back over it with some white paint. I do 2 or 3 coats to kind of make it look really smooth. Now on the little rails of the sled, I do just take my time and I go in with a little detail brush and paint them black. So we have the black and white contrast. And I do take my time with this part so that way I don't hit any of the white paint that I've already done. Now you can cut out a deer from a printable online. I used my cutting machine to cut this out, and I had a few people mention to me to use saran wrap over some delicate decoupage areas with my roller, and I didn't have any saran wrap, but I had a Ziploc bag and it actually worked really well. So thank you guys for the tip there. And that just helps that his little antlers are very delicate, so I just didn't want those to rip or anything on there, but I did just apply that using decoupage. And then I cut out these letters because if you've watched my channel for any length of time, you know that I very much struggle with hand lettering. Even my handwriting, my whole life I've struggled with it, guys. And so I just used my cutting machine. Use what you have. You could easily use some stickers from Dollar Tree, whatever. I just thought it would be very cute to have it say hello deer with the little deer on there. Now I'm just taking some wooden beads on a skewer stick and I'll paint 4 black and 4 red. And I love this method of painting the beads because if you put some painter's tape between them, you can paint 2 separate colors on the same skewer, and it's easy to kind of move them up and down and get in between. This is a very good hack and I absolutely love it. I thought these would be cute on the little tie that I'm going to do on the top. So I'm just going to take some twine and tie that back onto this first little rail of my sleigh, and then I'm just going to feed these beads on and in every other one pattern there, and then I will just tie it off on that other side. I have this bow that I made for another project that I never used, and so I'm just pulling it out because I thought it would be perfect for this project. It's just some buffalo check ribbon that I just did some like 5 loops on it. So it's got 2 on each side with the 1 in the middle. I'm sorry I don't have any footage of me making this because I made it quite a while ago. And I'm just gluing it onto the side with some hot glue because I thought this sign just kind of needed a little extra fluff or something on it. And so I'm gluing that down. And then what I do with the beads is glue them kind of over on the twine so they stay to the right. So that way you can still see the beads. They don't get lost behind the bow. I think this is such a good alternative to a wreath. I think this would be so cute hanging from a front door. If you do that, make sure you do put decoupage all over it just to protect it all. But I think this turned out absolutely adorable. I am so excited to be a part of this Colors of Christmas collaboration. I am so excited to see the colors that the other creators chose and the DIYs that they made to go along with those colors. I would like to thank Leni and Nadia for putting this collaboration together and gathering all of these amazing creators. Here are a list of the creators that will be participating in today's playlist. So make sure you check out the playlist, which will be linked down in my description box. You just have to click on that and it will go through and play all of these wonderfully talented creators' videos for you. Each of these talented creators chose a color of Christmas to create their DIYs inspired by that color. I chose to do black DIYs, which is why I am doing red and black buffalo plaid. So let's see what I create next. So I got these little banner pieces from Joann's. I think it was about $5 or $6 for the pack. It came with 7 of them, and you wouldn't even have to use these wooden pieces. You could just make this completely out of paper if you would like to. So I will just trace my little design, and I also make sure to mark where my holes are from the sign, that way the wooden pieces, that way I can use my hole punch to punch those out. So I just trace all 7 of these out, and I tried to think like, what could I have my sign say that was 7 words? Well, believe fits perfectly on them. So this is going to say believe. And then here I am just taking my hole punch and I just punch through those holes like that. And that works perfectly to line up with the holes on the sign. And then this is just as easy as using some of this good school glue here. This is just the purple Elmer's glue stick. And I just put this all over the wooden piece. And of course, if you're not using the wooden pieces, you would just skip the step because you're just using paper. You could even use some cardboard behind it though to make it a little bit more sturdy, or some foam core board if you would like to. That it would be a good idea to do if you can't find these wooden pieces or have some like extra Amazon boxes lying around. So I will just do my process of gluing the paper down onto the front of all of these edges using my Mod Podge roller to roll it out, and then I will go on each of the sides and I will just use my file to file in that downward motion to make this look very crisp and very clean, like that paper was made to fit right onto these pieces. Now, one thing that is going to give these that really extra touch is to go ahead and make sure that you go around all of the edges with some black paint. That is going to finish them off, and it is going to make them look just that much more high end. So just don't forget this step. Even if you're doing like foam core or cardboard to do this with, I would even just the paper, I would touch it up with a little bit of black to cover any of the white or whatever color you have that is showing. I'm curious to know if you guys have a preference to the red and black buffalo check or to the white and black buffalo check, or do you not do it at all? I actually use a combination of both. I absolutely love both of them. For some reason, it just reminds me of my childhood. I just love it, the lodgy feel that you get from it. I did do a video, I'll post the link down below if you like the white and black buffalo check. I did a tiered tray that was completely out of the white and black, so I'll leave that link down in my description box if you're interested at all in watching that, if you prefer those colors. But just let me know down in the comments if you prefer red and black or white and black, or if you just love them both. But now I'm just taking some of these letters that I cut out that say believe. You could easily use stenciling to do this, or you could use your I used my Cricut to do this, but you could print them out and cut them out. For the eye, I thought it would be really cute to kind of make a really short eye, and for the dot on the eye, use the Christmas star. I thought that was kind of a fun little clever thing to do. That would be completely optional. And if there was another saying or another word or something that you wanted to do yours with to make it longer or shorter or something completely different, that would be great too. I think it's so fun coming up with different things to put on these little banners. I just take some jute twine and string this on. I did take some wooden beads that I had that were stained with some antiquing wax. You could easily paint them black, leave them natural, whatever matches your decor. And I put 3 beads in between each banner piece. Now, to keep the banner pieces from sliding together once the twine is on there, I take some hot glue and popsicle sticks or craft sticks, and I just place that down to hold the twine in place. I make a lot of banners because I have a specific spot in my house that I put them for different holidays, and this is going to be perfect in that spot. What do you guys think of the little eye that I did with the Christmas star? Are you a fan of that or not so much? Don't forget that I'm on Instagram also. I love to meet new Insta friends, so I would love for you to come over and say hi, check out my page, and see all the latest projects that I'm working on. I'll be sure and leave a link down in my description box so you can easily find me. In my stash, I have this orange tin sign blank, and I've kind of been wondering what to do. Where it was orange, I think originally thought I was going to do a fall DIY with it, but we're just going to paint it and make a Christmas DIY out of it. I just give this about 3 or 4 coats of red chalk paint. You easily could spray paint it. I just did not have any red spray paint on hand this day, so the chalk paint or acrylic paint, whatever you have that way, would work just fine. Now, I do have some little ornament shapes that I picked up at the craft store. I have seen them at Dollar Tree. You could even just cut out just paper. You wouldn't have to use the 3-dimensional element. So easy to kind of tailor this to what works best for you. But I do just trace out a circle on some of my plaid paper, and I'm just going to use that on the front of my ornament. Now I'm going to use my favorite school glue. This is just purple glue stick. It's Elmer's glue. It works fantastic for a lot of craft projects. I feel like when crafters find something that works for them, they do just continue to use that. And I have not had any issues with this, so I do use it quite a bit. But I do just place this paper right down. I line up where the plaid, where I want it to kind of be, just eyeball it, see what looks good. And then I'm just using my Mod Podge roller just to kind of make sure that that gets very good and bonded. And then this is very sped up, but in a slow downward motion with my file, I just make those edges crisp and clear. And then I also paint around the edge with some black paint to finish it off. And I have this gold paint pen from Dollar Tree, so I just use that to put on the top of my ornament. I love to add the nativity into my Christmas decorating any way that I can, so I did just cut out this little silhouette of the nativity. You easily could skip this step if you did not want to, or you could even print one out from online if you don't have a cutting machine and decoupage it on there. Now I cut out the letters J and Y because our ornament will act as our O. These are block letters, so you could easily cut these out by hand. with paper, using sticker paper or vinyl if you don't have a cutting machine, or you could even stencil them on there, or if you're good at hand lettering, you could definitely do that. I want to make sure that this ornament is very good and stuck, so I did use some super glue as well as some hot glue, and then I'm just going to put a little holly leaf and some berries on there. I thought that was so cute, and if you know anything about the song The Holly and the Ivy, you know how the holly correlates to the birth of Christ, and I absolutely love using that in combination with my nativity. So I do take some metallic acrylic paint. That was hard for me to say for some reason, but I do just dry brush that on. You would not have to do this step. I thought where it was a tin sign, it would look kind of cute and rustic, and you can do it as heavy-handed as you want. I end up getting very heavy-handed on here, and I know that's not everybody's style, so you definitely do it to what works best for you, or not at all. But I just go around all the edges with those little, the little bead type looking, the little raised areas. It looks really, really good. I am so happy with how this turned out. I absolutely love that little ornament with the nativity in the middle. I think that this is absolutely perfect. What do you guys think of this one? Thank you so much for joining me today and seeing how I incorporate the color black into my Christmas decorating. I would love to know which one of these DIYs spoke to your heart today and which one you would consider making. There will be a link to the playlist down in my description box, so be sure and check that out. That way you can see the beautiful colors that all of the other creators chose for their DIYs. There will also be a link to the hosts' channels there, so I hope you check them out and let them know that Emily from Farm Charm Chic sent you. And while you're there, you may as well subscribe so you can get all sorts of DIY inspiration. And as always, remember to be safe, be smart, be nice, be happy. Choose to have a good day because you are amazing. Thank you so much, guys. We'll see you next time. Happy holidays! If you enjoyed the video that you just saw, here's another one that you might enjoy. And as always, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and have an amazing day.